it seem like every time I sit down to film, somebody needs me for something? It's so weird. Okay. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sherricka, and if you are a returning subscriber or a family member or a friend, thank you so much for watching my videos. I appreciate y'all so much. And if you're new to this video and you're tuning in for the very first time, all I say is watch the video to the end before you decide. So let's get straight into this video. I have not done these kind of videos in a long time. This is kind of the startup of my channel. I am a caregiver. I was a caregiver from the age of 19. I think I started at the age of 19 up until now. You've been following my vlogs. I'm back to caregiving full time. Before I had my baby, I was working in administrative at a homeless shelter, but now I have transitioned back into home care full time. And yes, I'm a caregiver. So anyway, when I first started my YouTube channel, I thought it would have been really, really cool to just kind of go over some of the old stories about some of my old clients. And I hadn't done that in a while. So I had this, and while I'm telling you guys a story, I'm going to do a face mask. And it's a Christmas one. It's so cute. It's this little mitten. And it is a self-heating mud mask. So we're going to put this on, and I think, let's see, you have to keep it on for, it says 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to talk to you guys for 15 to 20 minutes, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and put this mask on. I've already washed my face, of course, with my Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser by Neutrogena. And I'm getting ready to open up this. It's called Mask Bar Unmasked Beauty. A friend of mine got this for me last year. Was it last year? Oh, it's a mud mask. Duh, I just said that. So I literally have to put it on. Okay, so this is something. So let me put this on first and then I'll get back. So I have applied the mud mask. And when I think of a mask, I think of a mask that you put on your face. So when it said, I didn't read it. Why does it seem like every time I sit down to film, somebody needs me for something? It's so weird. Okay, so we're going to call her V. Now, V she was a 80-something, I think, year old lady when I first started taking care of her. So I'm going to just tell you how it went. So my mom knew somebody that did work, like construction work. And at her job at that time, you know, she knew like the contractors and stuff. So I guess this guy was talking about how he needed someone to take care of his aunt. And my mom was like, oh, you know, my daughter does that or whatever. So he was like, oh, yeah, give me your daughter's information. And he kind of forwarded it over to his brother and wife. Okay. So they called me up. We went out to Bob Evans. I'll never forget. We went out to Bob Evans. We had like dinner together and they interviewed me. And pretty much right after I left, I knew I kind of like had the job. Now, I was very young. I was in my early 20s. I don't remember exactly what age I was, but I know it was early 20s. And, you know, I was like, oh, wow, okay, I got me like a real job. So I worked 4 days a week, and I worked from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 4 days that I worked. And I think my work days were, I know I had Saturday and Sunday. And then I don't know if I had Wednesday and Thursday or Tuesday and Wednesday. One of those. So it was a good shift. You know, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 4 days a week. It was a pretty good job. And I got real good money. I was on their payroll, all that good stuff, because they had a construction company. So they put me on the payroll and everything was great. So when I first met the lady, like instantly I loved her because I love old people. Like love old people. So I instantly like loved her. She was so cute. But at that time, she was just kind of getting diagnosed. Well, she was just coming home from learning her diagnosis. And at that time, she couldn't really use her legs. She couldn't use her hands. And at this point, she was kind of, we were kind of like her rehab back to normal. So our duties, and I say our because it was a 24-hour situation. There was another aide, me, and then the family did like the night shifts and stuff like that. But me and the lady, we toggled with each other on the days and everything. Like I said, it started off being a really good situation. But V was super nice, super sweet lady. We had a routine, you know, every day we did X, Y, and Z. Like, it was get her out of bed, get her to the bathroom, get her dressed, get her breakfast. After breakfast, clean up the kitchen and get ready for lunch. And, you know, it was like so routine, right? But, so after like, I don't know how long it was. I don't know if it maybe was like some months, but maybe, let's say it was about a couple months, you know, that I started. And we was, you know, this routine every day of kind of like doing the same thing. One day, you know, after I had, you know, got her up, got her dressed, got her fed, cleaned the kitchen, cleaned the room, like did all of the things, I come in to the living room to sit down because, you know, that's what we would do. After I've done everything, I would come sit down and we would watch those black and white movies and just kind of sit and talk or whatever. Watch the morning TV shows like Let's Make a Deal or whatever the shows were in the morning that would come on. We would watch those and then we would watch the black and white movies. So this one particular day, I come in and she's crying. So I was so confused. I'm like, V, why are you crying? And she's like, you don't do anything. And I was like, what do you mean I don't do anything? She was like, you're always sitting and you don't do anything. And everybody else around here is always busy. So I was kind of confused when she said that because I'm like, you know, when there's a 24-hour case, there's really not much to do because everybody's doing things all day, all night, every single day. You know, there was not that much stuff to do. I mean, she had a very clean house. You know, it was very little to do. It was just our routine stuff. And I'm the kind of person that's a multitasker. So let's say I'm getting her out of bed. So when I'm getting her out of bed, while she's getting her bearings together in her wheelchair, I'm making up the bed. Let's say I'm getting her dressed or she's in the bathroom brushing her teeth or whatever. I'm always doing something else behind the scenes so that I can get done. And it wasn't like I was trying to like rush to get done. It was just that that's how I worked. Like, if you're doing something else, I'm not standing there waiting for you to finish that thing. I'm gonna go do something else so that I can keep myself busy in that sense. So anyway, so I would get done with everything fairly early because by the time she getting out of the bedroom, the bed is made, the clothes are put away. Sorry, you know. So I'm always moving. You know, when she gets out of the bathroom, I'm cleaning up the sink because that was something I would always do. Whenever she would get done out of the bathroom, I would clean out the sink and, you know, whatever it was. So I would be done. By the time I get breakfast and everything, I'm done with everything. I'm done with the bathroom. I'm done with the bedroom. I'm done with the kitchen. I'm done with everything that, you know, I thought that I needed to do. Little did I know that I'm supposed to be busy that whole time, which I didn't realize that because, you know, there were no rules coming into that situation. You know, of course I knew, you know, what I always knew because I was a caregiver since I was about 18, 19 years old. So I just was doing what I would normally do at anybody else's house, even though I was there short amount of time. Like, you know, when I was working with the agencies, I'm there 1 to 2 hours, maybe 3. But I'm doing all of the things and doing them quickly, not like I'm rushing, but just getting things done because that's just how I always worked. She didn't like that. So when I asked her, you know, well, what am I supposed to be doing? She's like, well, other people are cleaning and other people are doing, you know, just doing things. And I just I don't see you ever doing anything. And I'm like, well, I don't get what you mean. You know, the bedroom is, I made the bed, I did this, I did that. You know, I had a laundry day. I was on the weekend. So, of course, laundry was done on my day. I said, I do the laundry on the weekend. It's just a little confused, just a little confused at what she exactly wanted me to do. But you know, I said, you know what? I'm not a. This thing is starting to melt. It's starting to melt. It's melting all over. But I was like, you know what? I'm not about to even ask. I'm just gonna figure it out. So I did. So the next time I came in, I kind of gave myself like my own little rules. I'm like, on this day I'm gonna do this. On this day I'm gonna do that. So I was doing crazy work. Not to mention though, I was getting paid quite a bit of money for my age and for that time, because I never, that was the most money I think at that time that I had made caregiving. So I was like, you know what? Okay. So I came in. So I'll just tell you what my routine was. I had 4 days. So my one day was dedicated to laundry. So on laundry day, I would take all the sheets off of all the beds, because her family members also slept at the house. So I would take all the bed sheets off the beds, every bed in the house. It was 3 beds, I think. I'll take them all off, and then I would take everything out of the linen closet and just refold it. Just refold it, just because it could have been still fine, and I would still just refold everything. And then if I seen that, what are you doing?
I just wanted to see what you were doing.
I'm doing a video.
Oh.
See you in a minute. Don't wake your brother. So like again, Sundays was dedicated to laundry, and then when I would go down to do the laundry, like I would make sure everything upstairs was done. Okay. Oh, but first let me go back. So when we would do the whole routine of getting her up, I would leave everything. So let's say I'm getting her out of bed. I wouldn't make the bed up. I would just stand there, wait till she was ready to move on to the next thing. We get to the bathroom. I would just stand there, wait till she was ready to get, done with the bathroom, and leave everything the way it was. Bedroom left a mess. Bathroom left a mess. And then the kitchen, when I would get in the kitchen and make her breakfast, I would leave everything out. So then we would get into the living room, and then part of our routine was her exercising. I would have to take her to the bathroom again, her breakfast, and then whatever she wanted to watch. I would go through that whole scene, and then once we were done with everything and she was kind of like off on her own until like lunchtime, I would go back and do all of the things, do the bedroom, do the bathroom, do the kitchen slowly. I vacuumed every day. Her whole house was carpeted, even the kitchen. I would vacuum every single day, just to be doing something. And like I said, on laundry days, I would take everything out of the linen closet, refold everything, stay down in the basement the whole entire time while I was doing laundry. Because she also said that whenever I did laundry, the sheets was always real wrinkled. And I'm like, okay, I put the wrinkle shield on. Like, what you want me to do? So I used to sit down there and iron them. I would never come upstairs unless, we had a routine. So whenever it was time for lunch, then I'm back, or like maybe an hour before lunch, I will come upstairs and prepare lunch, so she could hear me in the kitchen. And then I would serve her lunch. And then after she was done with lunch, I wouldn't even sit in the living room and talk. I would sit in the kitchen and wait for her to get done with her lunch. And then when she was done with her lunch, then I would go and clean the kitchen just so she could hear me doing stuff. So that's kind of how our days went. And then with dinner, because I used to serve dinner too before I left, or either get it ready for the next girl, or whatever I would do with the dinner. I would either get it started. So an hour before I got off, like 5 o'clock, because I think she would get dinner around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I would start it. Whatever I would do, get it ready. Take out the meat, whatever I had to do to get ready for the dinner. She would hear me in there doing that. So laundry days, I was like never around, right? So that was one day. So then another day, I would dust. It was my dust day. I would take everything off of everything. I would dust. I'd clean the tables, clean the mirrors, clean the cabinets, clean everything. And her kitchen was all wood cabinet, I would go and wipe it down. I was just making myself busy. And making myself busy so that I didn't have to sit down and even want to talk to her, because I wasn't mad at her, but I was just irritated because I'm like, come on, lady. Like, your house is clean. You know, people are in this house all the time and they're doing all of the things too. So I was just trying to figure out, come on. So this went on for weeks. You know, I just never sat up there and talked to her anymore. And if I did, it was like something small. I would come in and ask a little question, or she would ask me a question, or she would ask how my weekend was, or she would, she might ask me a little something, and I give her a little bit, and then I just kind of go on and do what I'm doing. And then some of the time, I ain't gonna even lie, I used to be downstairs like on my phone. I used to go outside, be on my phone. I would go and check on her, just make sure she was okay, make sure she didn't need to go to the bathroom, make sure she didn't need a snack, make sure she didn't need to eat, whatever it was. I would just come back and check on her. But then sometimes I would be on my phone. So that went on, like I said, for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then finally, one day, I think I got done with the upstairs, and I was kind of coming in asking her, like, hey, do you need anything before I go do whatever I was supposed to go do that day? Because I had a routine. And she's crying. So I'm like, so at this point, I'm irritated. I'm like, V, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? It's like I don't even see you anymore. You never talk to me. I was like, is she crazy? Like, so I'm irritated, and I'm like, well, Vera, I've been trying to keep myself busy. I'm cleaning, I got things to do around here. Now at this time, I'm like, I got things to do around here, She's like, every time you never come and talk to me anymore. You don't see me. I don't see you. I don't know what you're doing. I said, I'm doing things around the house. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. It just had me so done. I was like, man, this lady she don't know what she wants at this point. So I just like, you know what? I'm going to have to try to find a balance. So I finally found a balance. And I'm like, all right, let me talk to her for a little bit, and then I'll go do what I'm going to go do. I don't know. I couldn't figure her out. But I'm just say this. She was still a sweet woman. She was a sweet woman. And the reason why this is resonating with me during around Christmas time is because before I started working with her, she was real adamant about giving me a lot of stuff, because she knew I was into, like, I would always tell her, like, oh, it's Valentine's Day, I'm about to go decorate for Valentine's Day. I used to buy a little stuff from the dollar store and do my little apartment up, the little table, and just little corny stuff. So she had all this Christmas decor, and I remember talking to her about it, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited, I cannot wait to decorate for Christmas. And she was like, oh, what do you have? I'm like, I ain't got nothing. I said, I gotta go to the dollar store and go find me some stuff. And then she was like, oh no, I got some stuff for you. She's like, because I'm not decorating for Christmas anymore, right? So she had her nephew and her niece go upstairs in the attic, and she let me pick out anything I wanted. So I had all this Christmas decor. I was so excited. And I was like, even though me and her had our little whatevers, she was still a really nice lady, and I really liked her. I liked her a lot. And I was just like, aw. And it was kind of sad though, too. When they downsized her, they kept the other aide and didn't keep me. She moved in with her nephew and the niece, who I loved so dearly. And they kept her on and didn't keep me on. But it was cool. I had to take that mask off. So real quick, that's pretty much the end of my story about my girl V. Once they kind of moved her in, I kind of never talked to them again. It was kind of sad though, because they were a great part of my life at that time. But we just was different people, and we just kind of we didn't keep in touch. But anyway, I want to tell you about the mask. So this was the little Christmas mask, and I'm gonna give my rating on it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, only because I don't know that it did anything. Like, I put the mud on, but it never got hard. And I don't know if maybe my expectations of that was way too high, because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be one of those masks where you put the mud on and then it gets hard, and then when you take it off, you're gonna feel just so clean and clear. I mean, my face feels okay, but it didn't give me anything. Like, it didn't give me a glow. I don't know. So it says it helps to detoxify and smoothen, but my face is already pretty smooth. And it didn't give me any extra smoothness. Like, I still need to put on my moisturizer, which I'll do right now. Put on my moisturizer. Like, I still need to moisturize my face, you know? So, I don't know. It didn't give me anything, I feel like. So, I'm still moisturizing my face. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll figure out what it might do in a couple of days. But to me, I don't feel like it really did too much of anything. Unmasked Beauty, and it was called Mask Bar, and it was a self-heating mask, mud mask. And I don't know, do masks, do they expire? I don't know. I don't see a date on here, and I feel like, you know, nothing was wrong with it, even though this was bought maybe like a year or so ago, probably like maybe like more, maybe a year and a half ago. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I just, like I said, I don't know that it did anything. So anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.